Dear learners, welcome back to WSE True Stories, where learning English turns into an exciting adventure. Today, you'll improve your listening in English and discover how healing and inner strength can rise from even the deepest pain. Let me introduce you to a woman whose voice has moved millions, not just through television, but through truth. Oprah Winfrey. She's one of the most influential media figures of our time. A billionaire. A producer. A leader. A symbol of resilience. But behind the empire she built is a story that begins in silence. In shame. In a childhood marked by trauma and poverty. Before she could inspire others to speak their truth, she had to survive a world that tried to silence her own. This is not just a story about success, it's a story about transformation. About turning wounds into wisdom. About the power of healing. And it's a story that speaks directly to our world today, a world still struggling with trauma, inequality, and the need to be heard. So, what does it really take to rise beyond the pain of the past and use that pain to change lives? What if this one story could help you see your own voice and your own strength in a whole new light? Let's find out. Oprah Winfrey was born on January 29, 1954, in the rural town of Kosciuszko, Mississippi, a place shaped by poverty and racial inequality. From her very first breath, life would test her with overwhelming challenges. Her mother, Vernita Lee, was a young, unmarried housemaid. Her father, Vernon Winfrey, was serving in the military. Because of these difficult circumstances, Oprah spent her early childhood with her grandmother, Hattie Mae Lee, in extreme poverty. They lived in a simple wooden house with no running water, wearing dresses sewn from potato sacks. But even in such harsh conditions, young Oprah found her first spark of strength in words. Hattie Mae taught her to read by age 3. By 4, Oprah was reciting Bible verses aloud in church, her voice already capturing attention. Books became her first great love and her escape. From poetry to scripture, stories gave her a sense of power, even when the world around her felt unstable. She once said that reading let her imagine a life beyond what was in front of her. But change came quickly. At age 6, Oprah moved to Milwaukee to live with her mother, a city very different from the small community she had known. Life there was harder, more chaotic. Her mother worked long hours, and Oprah often felt alone and invisible. In those years, she faced many hardships that shook her confidence and sense of safety. She struggled at school, rebelled at home, and began to lose her direction. By age 14, she had gone through experiences that left emotional scars, ones she would carry quietly for years. And yet, even through that darkness, something inside her refused to be extinguished. Maybe it was the memory of her grandmother's belief in her. Maybe it was the voice she once used to move people in church. Whatever it was, it survived. Eventually, her troubled behavior led her to be sent to live with her father, Vernon, in Nashville. A strict man with high expectations, Vernon demanded discipline and excellence, and that structure would become a turning point. There, in a new home, Oprah would take her first brave steps toward healing. And soon, a spark would be lit, one that would change the course of her entire life. Moving to live with her father, Vernon Winfrey, in Nashville marked a major shift in Oprah's life. Vernon was a strict and disciplined man who believed strongly in education and responsibility. He set high standards, expecting Oprah to focus on her studies and behave with respect. At first, this new environment felt unfamiliar and challenging, but it also offered structure that Oprah desperately needed. One of the most important changes was that Oprah began attending Tennessee State University's radio and speech classes at a young age. She discovered a new way to express herself, through speaking and storytelling. It was here that she first realized the power of her own voice. As a teenager, Oprah won a local radio contest for her speaking ability. This small victory gave her confidence and opened doors to opportunities she had never dreamed of. She started working in radio and later TV while still in high school. But her journey was far from smooth. Despite early successes, Oprah faced rejection and criticism. Many people doubted a young African-American woman from a poor background could succeed in the media industry. She struggled with self-doubt and felt the heavy weight of societal expectations. Yet, instead of giving up, Oprah used these challenges as fuel. She believed that her voice mattered, not just for herself but for others who had been ignored or silenced. This belief sparked her passion to connect with people through storytelling, empathy, and honesty. One early experience in television was humbling. Oprah was once fired from her job as a news anchor because producers said she was too emotional on air. Rather than letting this defeat her, Oprah reflected deeply on what kind of media figure she wanted to be, one who could bring real emotion and authenticity to viewers, breaking the mold of traditional, cold journalism. Her bold decision to embrace her genuine self, emotions and all, would become a signature style that set her apart. This moment marked the beginning of her transformation from a young woman finding her voice to a media trailblazer. Oprah's early career showed her that success wasn't just about talent or opportunity, it was about courage. The courage to stand up, speak out, and show the world the truth she believed in. And yet, just as her career was starting to grow, life was about to test her resilience once again. Oprah's journey into the world of media was far from easy. Even with her early breakthroughs, the path ahead was filled with challenges that tested her resolve and shaped her into the powerful figure she would become. After being fired as a news anchor in Baltimore, many would have given up. But Oprah didn't. Instead, she took a bold and unconventional step. She accepted a new role as host of a low-rated, local daytime talk show called People Are Talking. This show was a far cry from the prestige of news reporting. It was more informal, more personal, and riskier. But it gave Oprah a chance to connect directly with viewers, to listen, and to speak openly. It was here that she began developing the unique style that would later define her, warm, empathetic, and fearless in discussing real-life issues. This new role was a laboratory for growth. Oprah made mistakes, faced criticism, and even struggled with her own insecurities. But each setback was a lesson. She learned how to read her audience, how to bring out the stories that mattered, and most importantly, how to use her own vulnerability as a source of strength. During this time, Oprah also battled with the lingering shadows of her past. The pain and trauma she carried were never far away. She worked through this privately, often questioning if she was strong enough to face the world's spotlight. But she knew she had a mission, to bring truth and healing through her platform. Her rise in television wasn't just personal success. It was also a challenge to the media industry itself. As a black woman in a predominantly white and male-dominated space, Oprah faced prejudice and doubt. She had to fight stereotypes and break through barriers that tried to limit her voice. Despite these obstacles, Oprah's star began to rise. Her emotional honesty and commitment to meaningful conversation resonated with audiences hungry for something genuine. Her empathy was not a weakness but a superpower. It was during this phase that she met Harpo Productions founder Debbie Allen, who encouraged her to take control of her own content. This inspired Oprah to think bigger, not just as a host, but as a creator and producer. The decision to take ownership of her work was revolutionary. It wasn't common for women, especially women of color, to have that kind of control in the entertainment world. But Oprah was determined to build a platform where she could tell stories her way. This period was filled with trial and error. She experimented with different formats and topics, learning what moved people and what made them think. Every failure became a stepping stone. Every criticism pushed her to improve. Oprah's ability to turn setbacks into fuel reflected a larger truth. Growth often comes from discomfort and challenge. By facing her fears and embracing her imperfections, Oprah was crafting not just a career but a movement, one that would transform the way media spoke to and about people. And just when she was starting to find her true voice and style, a life-changing event would soon put everything she built to the test. By the mid-1980s, Oprah Winfrey had gained experience and recognition in local television, but her career was still on uncertain ground. Then, in 1984, a defining moment arrived, one that would change the course of her life forever. She was offered the chance to host a Chicago-based daytime talk show called AM Chicago. The show was struggling, nearly at the bottom of the ratings, and many doubted it could be saved. But Oprah saw something different. She believed that, with her unique voice and genuine approach, she could transform the show into something extraordinary. Her decision to accept this challenge was courageous. It meant moving to a new city, stepping into a role that others had failed at, and risking her reputation on unproven ground. Almost immediately, Oprah began reshaping the show. She moved away from sensationalism and gossip, instead focusing on authentic stories, real human struggles, and topics that resonated deeply with viewers. She brought empathy, compassion, and a sense of healing to the screen. Slowly but surely, AM Chicago began to climb the ratings charts. Oprah's warmth and honesty connected with audiences in a way no other host had. She tackled subjects that were often taboo on television, including abuse, poverty, and racism, giving a voice to those who had long been silenced. In 1986, the show was renamed The Oprah Winfrey Show, signaling that it was no longer just a program, but a platform shaped by her vision and values. This transformation was not easy. Oprah faced resistance from network executives and critics who worried about her unconventional approach. Some questioned whether a talk show focused on empathy and real issues could be successful. But Oprah's belief in the power of storytelling never wavered. She knew that audiences craved authenticity and connection. Her willingness to be vulnerable on air helped break down barriers and create a new kind of television experience. This major turning point marked Oprah's rise from local host to a national media powerhouse. It was the moment when her personal story, of pain, healing, and courage, became intertwined with her professional mission to inspire and empower millions. Her bold choice to embrace her own truth and use it to help others was a testament to her strength. It showed how personal transformation could fuel social change. And yet, with greater success came even greater challenges. Oprah would soon face her toughest test, one that would demand bravery beyond anything she had experienced before. At the height of her success, Oprah Winfrey faced a moment that would define not only her career but also her personal strength and values. As her show grew into a cultural phenomenon, Oprah was confronted with a difficult choice, whether to keep playing it safe in a world that rewarded conformity, or to speak boldly on issues that many considered controversial or taboo. One of the most courageous decisions came when Oprah chose to openly discuss her own painful past on national television. For years, She had carried the weight of childhood trauma quietly, afraid that sharing it would make her vulnerable or misunderstood. But Oprah understood that true healing began with truth. In 1986, during an interview with author Maya Angelou, Oprah spoke candidly about her experiences with abuse as a child. This moment was groundbreaking, a powerful act of bravery that challenged social stigma and invited millions of viewers to confront difficult realities. Oprah's openness sparked both admiration and criticism. Some praised her honesty as revolutionary, while others thought she was exposing too much. But Oprah stood firm. She believed that by sharing her story, she could help others feel less alone and inspire healing on a wider scale. This decision was not without risk. It meant exposing herself to judgment, risking her image and career in a media landscape that was not always kind to vulnerability. Yet Oprah's choice demonstrated a deep commitment to her values, authenticity, courage, and empathy. At the same time, Oprah began using her platform to address broader social issues, from racism and poverty to women's rights and mental health. She launched campaigns, supported charitable causes, and created spaces for honest conversations that mainstream media often ignored. Her bravery extended beyond personal storytelling. Oprah was willing to challenge powerful figures and institutions, ask tough questions, and stand up for marginalized voices. This fearlessness sometimes made her a target but also solidified her role as a transformative force in media and society. Behind the scenes, Oprah also made bold business decisions, taking ownership of her production company, Harpo Productions. This move gave her creative freedom and control over her content, allowing her to shape narratives that aligned with her vision. Choosing courage over comfort was not easy. Oprah faced doubts, setbacks, and intense pressure. But each time, she leaned into discomfort, believing that true change required risk and resilience. This pivotal chapter in her journey showed the power of healing through truth, and the strength that comes from standing up for what you believe in, even when the world resists. And as Oprah's voice grew louder, so did her impact, reaching far beyond television screens, inspiring generations, and reshaping cultural conversations around healing, empowerment, and justice. But even with this remarkable progress, a new horizon awaited, one that would define her legacy for decades to come. Oprah Winfrey's name soon became synonymous with more than just a talk show host. She was a cultural icon and a symbol of empowerment. Her achievements went far beyond ratings and awards. She reshaped media and inspired millions to embrace their own stories of healing and courage. Under her leadership, The Oprah Winfrey Show became the highest-rated talk show in American television history, running for 25 years and reaching millions every day. But Oprah's success wasn't just about entertainment, it was about connection and transformation. She used her platform to launch movements and campaigns that addressed critical social issues. For example, her book club didn't just promote reading, it brought important conversations into millions of homes, creating a shared space for learning and growth. Oprah's willingness to spotlight difficult topics, like sexual abuse, racism, and mental health, helped break long-standing taboos. She gave voice to survivors and activists, elevating stories that mainstream media often ignored. Beyond television, Oprah became a powerful entrepreneur. She founded Harpo Productions, giving her control over content and the ability to produce meaningful films, documentaries, and shows that reflected her values. Her philanthropic efforts were vast. Oprah donated millions to education, including creating the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa, providing opportunities for young women from disadvantaged backgrounds to receive quality education and mentorship. Her influence extended to politics and social justice. Oprah's endorsement of Barack Obama in the 2008 presidential election was credited with energizing voters and helping him secure victory. This demonstrated how her voice had become a force for real change. Throughout her career, Oprah challenged stereotypes about race, gender, and power. She showed that vulnerability and strength could coexist, redefining what it meant to be a successful woman in the public eye. Her story inspired countless people to believe in their own potential. Oprah's journey from poverty and abuse to global influence proved that healing is possible, and that personal pain can be transformed into powerful purpose. As she expanded her media empire to include magazines, satellite radio, and streaming platforms, Oprah continued to innovate, always keeping her mission at the heart: to uplift, educate, and empower. Her impact wasn't just measured in numbers, but in the lives touched and the conversations sparked. Oprah created a legacy of compassion and courage that continues to inspire new generations. Yet, even as her achievements accumulated, Oprah remained grounded in the values that had carried her through life's darkest moments. Her story wasn't just about success, it was about using success to make a difference. And today, her influence continues to grow, reminding us all that no matter our past, we have the power to heal, to speak, and to change the world. At the heart of Oprah Winfrey's incredible journey lies a set of values that have shaped not only her life but also the lives of millions around the world. Her story is a testament to resilience, authenticity, and the transformative power of healing. Oprah's life teaches us that our past does not define our future. Despite the pain and hardship she endured, she chose to rise above her circumstances. She embraced vulnerability as a strength, showing that sharing our struggles can open doors to deeper connection and understanding. One of her core messages is the importance of speaking your truth. Oprah encourages us to own our stories, the good and the difficult, because in doing so, we reclaim power and inspire others to do the same. This message resonates strongly in today's world, where many still feel silenced by fear, judgment, or stigma. Her emphasis on empathy and compassion reminds us that healing is not just personal but collective. Oprah's work highlights how we are all connected through our shared humanity. By listening to others and standing up for justice, we create communities that uplift and support one another. In a time when the media landscape is often criticized for superficiality and division, Oprah's legacy stands as a powerful reminder of the impact media can have when it is rooted in honesty and heart. Her approach challenges us to seek truth, foster understanding, and use our platforms responsibly. Moreover, Oprah's story is a beacon of hope for anyone facing adversity. It shows that transformation is possible when we dare to confront our fears and take bold steps toward healing and growth. Her values of courage, authenticity, and generosity continue to inspire activists, creators, and leaders across the globe. Whether through philanthropy, storytelling, or advocacy, Oprah demonstrates how personal values can drive social change in today's complex world. As we navigate challenges of inequality, mental health, and social justice, Oprah's message remains profoundly relevant. She calls on us to be brave, to speak out, and to support one another in the pursuit of a more compassionate and just society. Through her life and work, Oprah Winfrey has become more than a media mogul. She is a symbol of healing, hope, and the enduring power of the human spirit. And as her story continues to inspire, so too does the opportunity for each of us to harness our own power and make a difference in the world. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through Oprah Winfrey's life, a story of resilience, courage, and the power of healing. Oprah's path shows us that no matter where we come from or what hardships we face, we all have the strength to rise, to speak our truth, and to create change. Her life reminds us that healing is not a destination but a continuous process, one that grows deeper when shared with others. If this story moved you, consider sharing it with a friend who needs a spark of hope or courage today. Together, let's keep the flame of courage and kindness alive, just as Oprah has done, in her own bold and unforgettable way. Remember, your voice matters. Your story matters. And your actions, no matter how small, can ripple out to inspire others. If you enjoyed this story, please like, comment, and subscribe to WSE True Stories, where every tale opens new doors to learning, connection, and growth. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep speaking up, and keep believing in your power to change the world. Goodbye for now, and happy learning.